Hi, welcome back to Daytime. Well, as I said earlier, about a year ago, I believe it was, Kitchener author Linda Blum was on the show to talk about her first book, The Vision. And she's back again to talk about her second book called Mo.
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 Yes.
Not M-O-E, Mo.
Mo.
I love it. I love it because when we talk about people, it makes sense because you can start saying, he's such a Mo.
That's right. He's such a Mo.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
Now, as I recall, your first book took about 6 years to write.
That's right.
Yet here you are a year later with book number 2.
That's right. My husband was kind enough to let me just park my butt at home and write books instead of working.
Really?
Yes. So,
well, that's nice.
Yeah, that was nice of him.
Now, speaking of work, you've been on quite a journey.
I have, yes.
Like I see you've been a portrait studio manager, an insurance broker, a certified reflexologist, I love this, a mad scientist.
That's right, a mad scientist.
And was it one of those things where you just kept getting pulled back to writing, or did writing come out of it because you went, this is what I want to attempt?
I wanted to really attempt the writing. That was really the only thing I was good at school. I was terrible at everything else, but writing was always kind of my thing. And interestingly enough, I was at a psychic fair years ago. This was back in the 90s, because I remember I was telling my uncle was psychic, and some lady made a comment about, I can see you writing a book. And she'd put it on tape and everything, and then years later I was kind of, pulling out tapes, and I listened to it, and something just kind of clicked. I thought, yeah, that's what I should do. I should write a book. Yeah. So I just kind of got these ideas and started going with them. Now, if anybody asks me where I get the ideas from, it's really hard for me to say. A lot of it is life experience that I throw in the book. Mind you, it's not identical, but right. It's certain things that I've gone through that I kind of throw in the book, and I try to do it in sort of a humorous way too. So it's, even though they're murder mysteries, I try to make them not dark. I try to make them a bit more lighter,
right.
For a light read.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mo is kind of, in many ways, a continuation from The Vision. You have a lot of the same characters.
That's right, yes. A lot of my readers wanted me to continue on with the characters. When I started writing Mo, actually, I started with a whole different set of characters, but a lot of my readers really liked the characters I developed in The Vision, so I kind of revamped it to the characters in The Vision and continued on.
Now, so to lead into this, maybe you can give a quick synopsis of The Vision so that they can lead us into Mo.
Okay, The Vision was about a woman whose mother was murdered, and the murder went cold, and then 15 years later, the daughter's having dreams about the murder, like visions of the murder in the dream, and she feels like she's really onto something, because this murder in the dream saying, like, you better stop this or else bad things are going to happen. So she decides to go to the police. The police don't believe her, so her and her friend decide to take on the police investigation themselves. They steal police files and things like that, and they bumble their way through trying to catch the bad guy. Now, Mo stands for manipulator of energy, and Mo's about a man named Jonathan, who manipulates energy for sexual gain.
Right.
And the character, when he has his eye on one of the characters, Hope, and he tries to manipulate her, but Hope finds out through the spirit world what he's doing, and she decides that she's going to take him down. Right. So she goes to her psychic friend Judy for help, and Judy reluctantly kind of follows along with her. And then what happens is Judy starts to get premonitions that Hope's in danger, and she pleads with her to stop following Jonathan. But Hope, being Hope, continues on and ends up getting in trouble in the end.
Yes. Yes.
My characters always seem to get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I thought with Jonathan, because he does end up seducing a number of women.
That's right.
But he keeps coming back to Hope, and it's just that whole, I will conquer you, and no, you won't, and
that's right.
It just keeps building.
The dynamics of he was really trying to conquer Hope, but she was cluing into this, and she wasn't going to let him do that to her.
Yeah. Now, you were mentioning your uncle. There is quite a psychic component.
Yes,
you bring into this.
My uncle William Bruce Meyer, as I said in the last show, used to have a call-in psychic show here in Rogers about 10 years ago, and I've always been around that. Growing up as a child. He always went to the psychic fairs and things like that. So a lot of it is, and plus I've had certain experiences myself. I don't go looking for it, it happens. And I always joke around saying nobody will believe me, so I'll throw it in a fiction book. But it's interesting because I've been invited to the psychic fairs as well, and people who have actually read my book say, oh yeah, something similar happened to me. So it's interesting to hear feedback from other people, things I wrote in the book. They're saying, yeah, something kind of similar happened to me that way, or things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's what I noticed too, is that you were saying you kind of write about things that may sort of happen to you.
Yeah.
But a lot of the characters in there, I identify I could read that and go, oh man, yeah, I have an Uncle Leo.
That's right.
Yeah,
Uncle Leo. Yeah. Uncle Leo is a troublemaker.
He's a frisky one.
Yeah, he's a frisky one. Yeah.
But you have this extended. Hope has this extended conversation with her deceased father.
That's right.
And that intrigued me to think, did you write that as it deliberately being her father, that it meant something, or do you write it as a character?
I did it just because I had an experience when I was a kid, talking about psychic experience. When I was about 14, I had a dream about my grandmother. And in the dream, I was sitting in my grandmother's kitchen, and she was saying, I have to go see you later. And then the next day, I woke up, and she had passed away. And then a year later, I had a similar dream with my mother, and in the dream, my mother was saying the same thing. You know, I love you, be a good girl, I got to go. And then I woke up the next day, and she had passed away. Now, my grandmother, I didn't know she was going to die, whereas my mother was dying of cancer. So she knew eventually she's going to die. But the thing about those dreams were they were very impactful for me, A, because I lost 2 women in the course of a year that meant a lot to me, and B, because I actually felt like I had spoken to them. When I woke up, I actually got that sense like they came to me in a dream to tell me that they were leaving. And I know that's going to sound really weird to a lot of people, but that's the feeling I got when I woke up. Yeah. Interesting enough about these dreams, too, is most of my dreams are very symbolic in nature, so that when I wake up, I usually have to try to decipher the symbolism in them to figure out what it meant. But these dreams are very straight and to the point. You know what I mean? There was no symbolism. These ladies were just saying, we're leaving. You know, so, yeah, so things like that have happened to me, so I kind of throw them in the book. As far as the death thing goes, I've never totally experienced that as in, you know, somebody's come back to talk to me, but just with the deaths that I've experienced with those dreams and everything, that was kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on book number 2, and I understand you have a couple more in the works.
I have about 3 more working on right now, a sequel to that and 2 other books. So.
Very good. Well, congratulations, and lindablum.ca, best way to get information?
That's right. They're being sold at Chapters. They're being sold in Toronto as well, and you can also order them online through my website at volumesdirect.com. Or .com. Yeah.
Very good. I
was trying to .com.ca.
Well, congratulations again.
Well,
thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, come on back. We have more Daytime after this.